What's good, people? It's your boy Jonathan Lacey, and I'm back with another episode of the Laced Up Podcast. Today's episode, I plan on hitting on something that I think a lot of us we need to hear it. I feel because some of us have, not even some of us, I know all of us in life have faced adversity. So today we're going to talk about that because I know for me personally, I'm going to use my football story for me because that's something that I felt like that was a big point in time for my life, and it's a sports podcast, so I'm going to tie it back to all of that. But for the people out there that don't know, I had a stroke in my senior year of football, and you know when when I had that stroke, it it sent me off for an unfortunate road because at that point in time, I had no idea what I was going to do because football was everything that I knew. It was everything that I loved. Really football had defined me, and I had no idea who Jonathan Lacey was outside of football. But you know, of course, before that though, really I was so focused on trying to get out of Lynchburg because I didn't want to have anything to do with Lynchburg. So I was trying so hard to look at all these different schools that were outside of Virginia, really. And you know, I had schools like Townsend, I had Cincinnati, JMU, Harvard, had all these big name schools looking at me for football. So, but of course, when I had that stroke, all those schools stopped looking at me, and I was devastated. But of course, I was angry with God. I was so frustrated with him. I felt like really I was just thinking to myself, like, how could you do something like that to me? In the year I just knew that senior year was going to be my year that I get a big name scholarship to a D1 school and go have dreams to play in the NFL. But of course, God had different plans in mind. But of course, I was frustrated then while I was in the hospital, and when I received that news, and I just remember sitting there crying and thinking to myself, now, like, what am I going to do now? And you know, something just came over me, and I genuinely believe it was God just saying. So I'm gonna give you two options. You can sit here and feel sorry for yourself, like a little punk, wallow in your pain, or you can get back up, get back on track to the plans that I have for you, and move on with your life and keep on moving towards better things that are way bigger and better than just the game of football. And of course, there's just a side of me that I still wanted to play football because even when I was in college, I was trying so hard to even like try to walk on at Liberty. But um, you know, I I think I definitely responded the way that I was supposed to because I had to work so hard to get myself back in shape to get back to where I once was, because I remember my first time trying to sprint after really being out of the hospital. It was awful. Like I couldn't do anything, but I did. I worked so hard each day to get back to where I wanted to be, and really like football to this day. It's something that I do love, but it's it's not anything that defines me now. Like I think I'm Jonathan Lacey. I'm bigger than football. Like I'm bigger. than anything like anything that I do. Like a job it doesn't define me. It shouldn't define you. Um, like anything, like you don't let your identity be put in anything that you do. Like you want your identity like really you want your identity to be in Christ. But I know some of my listeners aren't Christ followers, and you may feel like, hey, I don't want to have anything to do with religion. And while I'm not going to sit here and say that following Jesus is not a religion, because religion is just man-made rules anyway, but I want to say though that that was probably the best decision that I made during that time, because while when I had my stroke, I was definitely I was one of those people that I thought I was saved because my mom and dad were saved, but I didn't actually fully accept Christ into my life until later on. But yeah, I just I know that a lot of us each day we go through adversity, and it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it could be a month from now, a week, a year, like 2 years. It can be later on down the road where you go through something that is going to be hard, that's going to be devastating. And I know I'm young, I'm 25, I haven't experienced everything there is to know in life. Okay, but I will say that a lot of people that go through devastating injuries in life, or just anything in general that could put a put a pretty big dent in their life, they usually they want to wallow up and curl up in the ball, and really they just want to give up because they feel like that there's nothing left for them. But that is a lie that's from the pit of hell. And I'm telling you this personally, that there is more to life than just that, guys. All right. Don't sit there and the worst thing anyone can do is when you go through something so devastating, especially like if you make a big mistake, all right? Like if you catch yourself in trouble, the biggest mistake that you can do is sitting there in that same spot. Because if you're not sitting there trying to make progress and trying to better yourself and learn from that situation, then of course you're not going to get any better. Like you're doing nothing but failing yourself. You have nobody to blame but yourself. All right. So make sure, if you're listening to this today and you're somebody that has screwed up hard in life, like I've screwed up many times in my life, and I'll be the first to say that I'm not perfect by any means. But like that's why I have Jesus Christ in my life, because he's the only one that is perfect to ever walk this earth. And without him, I wouldn't be here where I am today. And I definitely I just want people to realize that you have those two options. You can either sit there and wallow in your pain, or you can keep on going and pick your head up and just keep going until you reach at the end where you say, hey man, like look how far like God has brought me. Like you have those two decisions. Like God gave us the free will to choose, but it comes down to us and how much we actually want it. And I believe that, like, I'm gonna put it to really. Let's look at Derrick Rose, for instance. Derrick Rose had one of the most devastating injuries that we have probably seen in the NBA. All right, and it was so unfortunate. Like he tore, I think he tore both of his ACLs. I'm pretty sure he tore both of them. And Derrick Rose, for the people out there that don't know NBA basketball like that, Derrick Rose is the youngest MVP to I think he was 21 when he won MVP. All right. And Derrick Rose was lethal. Like he was jumping through the roof, you know, dunking on guys that were like 8 to 10 inches taller than him with ease. You know, he was fearless and you could see that. And Derrick Rose, he had the option to sit there and wallow in his pain and say, "Oh man, woe is me. I can't believe this happened to me." And blah 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 is like making it all about him. But he chose the other route where he said, "You know what? This happened. All right, it's out of my control, but I can react by doing what is necessary and saying, "Hey, I need to step up. I need to get back to where I want to be." And he's not what he once was. All right. Derrick Rose that we see today was not Derrick Rose back in his early 20s. But you can see though that he's contributing way more. I think he's a better player now than what he was back then because you look at his scoring ability, Derrick Rose is like he's an all-around scorer now. He plays great defense as well. So I think like Derrick Rose, he was looking adversity dead in the face. He didn't run from it, and he he took on the challenge. And I'm sure it was a long road to recovery. And I remember when he was with the T Wolves like 2 or 3 years ago, this man dropped 50 some points. All right, Derrick Rose. Not too many people were expecting that from him, but that just shows you that Derrick Rose can still be as dominant as he once was. All right, but let's take into let's so this Deshaun Watson situation right now. A lot of these sexual allegations are coming out against him right now, right, from these women, and whether it's true or not, I have no idea. All right, I'm not going to jump into that, but what I do want to hit on is how is Deshaun Watson going to react? All right, because he can do those. He has those two options just like you and I, and really I'm sure like the media is trying to paint this picture of him now where he's going to be the bad guy. And I just it's hard for me to see Deshaun Watson as a bad guy. But like I said, I don't know if it's true or not of what these allegations are against him. But we're going to find out Deshaun Watson's true character right now. And honestly, I'm kind of, it sounds weird, but I'm looking forward to see how he's going to react. All right. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And people, just know when you're going through just eh, like really, I'm gonna say it. Like if you're going through tough shit in life, it feels like nothing is going to get better. Like you just constantly just like, oh my gosh, what else can possibly go wrong? And guys, look, just know you are not going through it alone. Like there are numerous people out here. You may not know them by name, but there are numerous people out here that are going through so much adversity every single day. All right. And they still, both of us, they have the same two decisions, the two choices to make. Okay. So you're not alone out here when I say that you're going, like, I know what you're going through. All right. I may not be able to experience it, but I do know that adversity, it sucks. It does. But we have to look at it dead in the face and say, you're not going to stop me. And especially like if you have really, you have God on your side, and He's in your corner, and you're fighting that adversity head to head. I guarantee you, you're gonna come out on top, and it's gonna be so awesome just to hear. Like I really, you know, I'm sure. Like if this episode, if it helps you, like if it you so somebody out here needs to hear this, and God's laid this on my heart, and I really wanted to share this with you guys. And if this episode has helped you by any way, or anything like that, if it is this kind of if it woke you up to what's going on around you, please let me know. Like share it with me if you feel comfortable doing that. I'm not going to say like you have to, but like if you want to do it, man. Like because I really I want to know really how can I help you, and really I just want to keep helping people, man. I want to keep motivating, and really like I'm here to help you guys, man. All right, because without you guys, this is impossible. All right, so no, I know it's a short episode this week, but I think this is it. It needs to just keep it simple for everyone out there. All right, so if you're listening on Apple, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. All right, because I want to know like what can I do to keep increasing um like the really the just like the viewership and the how to make this show better for you guys. And if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you follow the podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. And look, keep going, keep attacking, keep grinding. All right. Love you guys. Peace.